time, I will read the title match declaration. I hereby agree that the match of the 10th GHC Heavyweight Champion Naomichi Marafuji against challenger Nigel McGuiness takes place at Manhattan Center on September 16, 2006. Is GHC Heavyweight Championship authorized by GHC Committee under the GHC official rule. It is dated September 16, 2006. Introducing first to my right, the challenger from London, England, weighing 235 pounds, Nigel Japan. He is the new GHC Heavyweight Champion, marafuji naomichi.
And referee Paul Turner asks for the code of honor to be followed for this historic match, not only for Ring of Honor, but for professional wrestling as a whole. The code of honor is followed for a GHC heavyweight title match, the first ever in the United States. Naomichi Marafuji to defend against Nigel McGuiness.
What an honor this is for ROH to host this match. Naomichi Marafuji's first defense, having won the title just 1 week ago against Jun Akiyama at Budokan Hall in Japan. And NOAH officials offered this match to ROH, and ROH jumped at the opportunity to host a GHC Heavyweight Championship match.
And putting the title on the line against Nigel McGuiness, a wrestler who has competed in Pro Wrestling Noah in the past, is about to leave for Japan once again to go on yet another tour for Pro Wrestling Noah. The question on the minds of all the fans here tonight is whether or not he will go back wearing the championship. Some nice work right there from Marafuji, taking Nigel off his feet and holding onto the arm.
Case could be made, Dave, that this is the biggest match of Nigel McGuinness's life. You win this match, you are now known worldwide, all over the place, big money coming all over. And Naomichi Marafuji, a lot of people think it's a fluke that he's the champion, and he wants to prove those doubters wrong. The doubters say he can't beat larger men, and I think it's appropriate that his first defense is against a man the size and height of Nigel McGuiness.
It's the head scissors on Marafuji, trying to work his way free. Really keeping him down on the canvas, keeping the head scissors applied. Should be noted that there are countouts in GHC heavyweight title matches. We have a 20 count on the floor. This match held under GHC title rules.
And the match, if should end in a countout, the title can change hands on a countout, Dave.
Very good point. Works his way free of the head scissors and back to his feet. Marafuji showing what he's made of here as Nigel back to his standing position himself.
And what an unbelievable 2006 Naomichi Marafuji has had. It was just earlier this year that he was competing for the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship. And here we are, he's the heavyweight champion. Absolutely unbelievable turn of events and the career of Naomichi Marafuji.
Back to his feet once again with the nip up now. Jockeying for position right here on this top wrist lock. McGuiness trying to power him down. Marafuji trying to stay on his feet. Grabs hold of the top rope. And uses the rope for a little bit of leverage to turn it around on McGuiness. Into the wrist lock goes Marafuji. Nigel rolls forward back to his feet himself. Snapmare brings Marafuji down to the canvas, grabbing hold of the chin lock.
And Dave, Marafuji not alone, being seconded by more wrestlers from Pro Wrestling Noah. He's got Muhammad Yone in his corner. He's got Takashi Sugiura, and he's got Takeshi Morishima, excuse me. And you got to think that not only is he representing Noah, he's representing Japan here against Ring of Honor. A lot of pressure on the shoulders of Naomichi Marafuji.
And getting a whole lot of support in the corner. How about that confrontation earlier this evening between Morishima and Samoa Joe? Certainly going to come to a head in Ring of Honor in the future.
Those are two big bad boys, Dave.
Certainly a match that every wrestling fan wants to see, and Jimmy Bauer, a historic night, making his way into the broadcast booth.
Oh, you know I had to jump in during this one. I just want to thank NOAH officials for making this match possible. Wes, we got a forearm exchange. Back and forth. Call the action, Dave. I'll come back.
Just as things start to heat up, a very important night, an important show, an important match. And a big match in the career of Nigel McGuinness as well. Holds onto the ropes. Elevating Marafuji up and over. He lands on the apron, though. Lands a shot on McGuinness. Going after the leg. Pulls it through the ring ropes. Going for the dragon screw leg whip. And nowhere for Nigel to go as the rope stopped him and just did more damage to the leg.
As I was saying, I just want to quickly thank the NOAH officials for making this match possible. It's such an honor to have the GHC heavyweight title defended here. One of, if not the most important belt in all of wrestling, right next to the ROH world title. And what a picture that was before. And we saw Bruno Sammartino, Marafuji, and Bryan Danielson with their belts all together. Great champions all around. This is what ROH is made of.
Well, thank you, Jimmy Bauer, for your comments. As Nigel McGuinness with control of Marafuji in the corner here.
And Dave, the case can really be made. One of the most impressive double main events I've ever seen in my life. The GHC Heavyweight Championship and the ROH World Championship defended back to back.
1, 2.
And it's very significant that the ROH World title is going on second on this given evening. The GHC Heavyweight Championship taking a backseat to the ROH World title as we are here in New York, and it is a Ring of Honor event. Kicking away at the leg of Nigel McGuinness.
Kicks to the hamstring. Maybe trying to Charlie horse that leg. Very focused attack here from Marafuji. We've seen Marafuji's style kind of change over the last 8 to 9 months. He's obviously added a lot of mass to his frame as he's made his transition to being a heavyweight.
Doing damage to the leg of Nigel McGuinness, driving it right into the ring post.
You saw right there, Dave, still retaining a lot of the quickness that made him such a successful junior heavyweight.
3.
With the leg of McGuinness once again, doing even further damage to the leg.
5.
Referee applying the count on Marafuji.
6.
Again, a 20 count on the floor in GHC heavyweight title bouts. And again, going for the leg whip, just driving the leg of McGuinness into the ring post with great force. Goes back inside the ring. And Nigel with a shot to the midsection of Marafuji.
And now Marafuji going right back after that leg. Pulls McGuinness away from the ropes. Could be going for a figure 4 here, Dave.
Spinning toe hold and cinches in the figure 4 leg lock right here, trying to wear down McGuinness. We've seen that Nigel McGuinness can last when his opponent tries to wear him down, going 60 minutes against Bryan Danielson. Great pure title reign for Nigel McGuinness, really showing what a great scientific wrestler he is. Earning the fans' respect through his great pure title reign. Utilized some shady tactics along the way to retain that title during his reign, but he also showed what a great wrestler he is.
Yeah, some of his strategies may not have been too admirable, but you got to give the guy credit. His reign as pure champion, so impressive. And you know, sometimes you got to do whatever it takes to win.
And Nigel, through his pure title reign, was able to master the use of the 20 count to his advantage in order to win and retain the pure title. The 20 count in this matchup, you got to think that Nigel McGuinness has an advantage going into this just in terms of a game plan.
And Dave, what's so interesting, Marafuji having won the GHC Heavyweight Championship 1 week ago, but that match almost did not take place, as during that tour in Japan, Marafuji had to face off against other heavyweights, and if he had lost any of those matches, he would have forfeited his shot for the title.
Further damage done to the leg of McGuiness. He had the leg draped over the bottom rope, go down with all of his body weight on the leg. Going for it once again. Of course, Nigel McGuiness showed great heart at Unified in Liverpool. Match of the Year candidate against Bryan Danielson, which saw Danielson unify the World and Pure Championships here in ROH.
Marafuji now sends McGuiness into the buckle.
And sidesteps a charging Marafuji. Shoulder first into the ring post he goes. And he is down on the floor. Trying to shake out that shoulder and that arm. He did damage to the leg of McGuiness utilizing the ring post earlier. And now it's Nigel using the momentum of Marafuji against him and driving him into the ring post. Nigel favoring that leg.
Going a hammerlock now. Maybe looking to send him into the guardrail. There he goes, shoulder first. And if you're McGuiness, you want to try to use your height and your reach to your advantage. I do believe that McGuiness is the tallest man that Marafuji has ever faced in singles competition.
Headbutting the shoulder now. Doing more damage to that body part. Before bringing the action back inside the ring.
You see the Noah contingent there. Muhammad Yone with the nicely puffed out afro.
Nigel back inside trying to walk off the injury. As Marafuji has focused on the leg thus far in the matchup. Drops the leg across the arm and the shoulder. A lot of pressure put on that body part with this hold. As Paul Turner checks to see if he needs to give it up. As the shoulder's forced against the canvas with the pain of the maneuver. For 2 near falls. McGuiness holding onto the wrist of Marafuji. Single-handed Greco-Roman knuckle lock, both men back to their feet. Maintaining control of the arm as he tosses him overhead by the arm.
What a feat of strength there from Nigel McGuiness.
1, 2.
You can see Marafuji favoring the arm while kicking out of the pin attempt. McGuiness looking to follow up. Picking him back up off the canvas.
And while these two men battle for the GHC Heavyweight Championship, it's worth noting that Takashi Sugiura, who's standing at ringside, currently holds the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship and the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship.
More damage done to the arm right there by McGuiness. Lateral press, but not hooking the leg. Able to kick out. And trying to force the shoulders against the canvas. Making Marafuji exert that energy. He hooks the legs this time, but he still kicks out. Making him use up that energy just to kick out of the 3 attempts at pinning the shoulders down to the mat.
Nigel McGuiness picking up Marafuji, going right back after that arm, hammerlock.
Kicks away the legs, more damage done to the shoulder.
Nice takedown there from McGuiness.
Softening him up. Of course, Nigel McGuiness likes to put the Tower of London to use to put away his opponents, gripping their legs across the top rope and driving them face and shoulder first down to the canvas.
And Marafuji's signature moves, known for the Shiranui, which ROH fans may know as the slice bread number 2. And also in recent months, Marafuji has been utilizing what I believe he calls the perfect inside cradle, a very, very quick small package, which is what he used to win the GHC Heavyweight Championship just 1 week ago.
Nigel able to kick the side of the face of Marafuji and send him into the corner. Nigel trying to shake some life, some feeling back into that leg. While Marafuji still favoring the arm.
And Nigel back to his feet. Marafuji still down in the corner.
Both wrestlers have done a great job of focusing on one body part on their opponent during this match thus far. Huge international event, Samurai TV here to cover this matchup, and of course, your main event still to come this evening between Bryan Danielson and Kenta. A big night for not only Ring of Honor, but for professional wrestling as a whole.
Yeah, such a unique situation, Dave, to have 2 title matches like this with international interest all over the world. People are interested in both of these title matches. And, you know, still to come, Danielson and Kenta, you know that one's going to be a classic. And McGuiness and Marafuji right now. Marafuji trying to fight out. Oh, they get spun right into the lariat.
1, 2.
Nice short arm lariat from Nigel McGuiness, takes him down as he had him in that modified version of a Shinanamaki, the Cobra Clutch. Looking to take away his oxygen, take away his energy. Got him down on the canvas, wrenching up on the head and the neck right here. Perfect position for referee Paul Turner to see if there needs to be a submission right here.
Not only is he trying to choke the life out of him, he's putting his body weight on top of Marafuji as well, wearing him out in two fashions, but now Marafuji gets back to his feet.
Going for another short arm lariat. He ducks the attempt this time, hits one of his own, but Nigel stays on his feet. Ducks the attempt, kicks away at that bad knee of Nigel McGuinness. Running clothesline. Cover. McGuinness gets his shoulder up. Again, favoring the arm is Marafuji. As you see the other Noah wrestlers watching on, giving some moral support to the GHC heavyweight champion. Pulls McGuinness into the center of the ring, looking for possibly a German suplex, but elbows his way out of the attempt. Reversal of the whip, McGuinness off the ropes. Got great momentum, hitting the ropes himself before connecting with the clothesline. But only two.
And one of the things you're starting to see in Pro Wrestling Noah right now, Dave, is the younger generation starting to take over. The champion Marafuji, you see at ringside we have Yone and Morishima, two big stars that are going to be on top of Noah for years to come. But right now McGuinness fighting back with those double thrusts, able to duck the clothesline, and another lariat takes down Marafuji.
Almost had him right there, got great impact on the lariat. Nigel has been known to finish off several of his opponents with the vicious lariat from several different positions. Certainly going to use that hold again during the course of this match.
Marafuji reverses, sends McGuinness
headstand,
upside down, yeah.
And the mule kick. That's all of it. Cover. Able to kick out.
McGuinness starting to get a little frustrated here. Hit the mule kick perfectly, but was not enough to pick up the victory.
Marafuji trying to get back to his feet. Nigel now positions him up on the top rope. He said he likes to use that lariat from different positions, including from right here.
You called it, Dave, that he would go for the lariat again.
But he ducks out of the way. He saw it coming. Marafuji gets the top rope snapped right into his eyes. Both men on the apron now. A kick to the side of the head. Oh! Shiranui to the floor! High impact maneuver right there. He's got to get him back inside the ring.
And the referee counting. Normally we would not have a count if it was an ROH title match. Marafuji back in the ring.
He can win by countout right here. Nigel can't get back up. Nigel trying to regain his bearings. Just driven into the floor here at the Manhattan Center.
But Dave, Nigel certainly no stranger to 20 counts. All that experience in the pure title matches that he has.
He barely gets to his feet.
Yeah, he looks to be out on his feet here, Dave.
Crawling toward the ring. Marafuji trying to get the count-out victory here, but Nigel trying to continue fighting.
17.
Up to a count of 17, and he's back inside the ring. Cover. Gets a shoulder up. Too much time passed between the impact of the maneuver and going for the pin.
Now he has Nigel in the corner, lifting him up. Nigel planted on that top turnbuckle.
All the way up top. Nigel with a couple of shots to the midsection and has him hung up once again. Another big lariat from McGuinness, but only gets two. He can't believe it.
Now McGuinness absolutely beside himself here, Dave. Hit that lariat perfectly off the ropes, but Marafuji found a way to kick out.
Think of the prestige at stake in this one. Who's going to walk away with the belt? Here here in New York a little bit split. Tower of London. He gets it, but he's back to his feet. Fighting spirit. Cheering away. But can't roll over to go for the cover right away. Too much has been taken out of Marafuji thus far.
And Marafuji able to temporarily block out the pain and hit the Shiranui, but both men are down now. As Yone, Morishima, and Sugiura cheer on their man at ringside, trying to will him on. Who will make it back to their feet first?
7.
Nigel trying to dig down for a burst of energy. He knows this is his opportunity to make history. Marafuji back to his feet. Exchange of strikes between these two men. Series of forearms from McGuiness. Backs him into the corner. Trying to get out of harm's way, but he connects. Running uppercut from McGuiness. It's met with the elbow. Big lariat. So close. About took his head off with that lariat. But Marafuji able to kick out.
Marafuji may have been able to kick out, but can he stand up? Trying to crawl his way to his feet. And collapses every time he's just about to get to his knees.
And the fans here in Manhattan love the action here. GHC heavyweight title on the line. McGuiness back to his feet. He has the advantage for the moment.
And Dave, think about all the great men that have held the GHC title. Can Nigel McGuiness add his name to that list? Misawa, Kobashi, Akiyama, Takayama.
No, what's this? Tower of London on the apron. Unbelievable. Both men laying on the floor once again. Putting it all on the line. Both wrestlers have hit high impact moves off the apron and down to the floor now.
And Marafuji crashed face first on the edge of the ring. The hardest part of the ring, Dave. There's no give. It's wood on wood.
And we have the 20 count on the floor. Referee Paul Turner administering the count. Both men are down. Nigel McGuiness looks to be in a little bit better shape at this point in the match, trying to regain his own bearings. Just executing a maneuver like that took a lot out of him. He went spilling to the floor as well.
But it may have been worth it, Dave. He may have knocked out Marafuji.
13.
Marafuji barely moving.
14.
Watch the count. Nigel back in. 15.
16.
And he's back in. Cover. You'll notice he cradled that leg. He saw good ring positioning by Nigel McGuiness. Saw the leg was very close to the ropes and hooked that leg tight to pull it away from the ropes. Slap from Marafuji. Back and forth they go.
To his shoulders.
Gets kicked right in the face mid-headstand. And now Marafuji with McGuiness. Looking to pull him into the tree of woe in the corner. So McGuiness is helpless. Marafuji has been known to soar all the way across the ring from corner to corner. And does just that. Pulls him out of the tree of woe. As McGuiness placed on the ropes.
Could be set him up for the top rope Shiranui. He's got him in position.
your winner and still GHC Heavyweight Champion, Marafuji naomichi.
Marafuji retains the GHC Heavyweight Championship. It is the first defense of the belt, and it's right here in Ring of Honor. History has been made in Manhattan. What a great effort from Nigel McGuinness during that matchup. Who knows what's next for McGuinness? His future certainly